Also, we have our Zoom session. So through these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic information for yourself to build up a very clear spiritual foundation. So we try to give some basic informations. So that is the very purpose of this lessons. So if you look for more calmer, wiser, peaceful lifestyle for yourself, so you may find some basic informations here. So let me get connected with the network and we're ready to start the session for today. So at the same time, you can be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to be very clear with the practice we do here. So when it comes to meditation, why we have to practice meditation? What is the benefit? And how it can apply for our day-to-day life? And in the very conventional life, what are the benefits and how it can develop our spiritual life? So we have to be very clear with this. Because when it comes to our human life, if you look very carefully, most of time we waste our time on the journey of this life. And from childhood to teenager, from teenager to young age, and young age to elders, and we go in different ways, and we interfere with a lot of things in life, and believing that that's going to bring us the ultimate, the completion of the life, happiness and satisfaction. But on the way we understand the journey that we go through doesn't bring that kind of result to us. So most of time people keep struggling with the life, and then sometimes by the time what happens, the way that we went through the life take us to wrong places, wrong people, wrong environment, and then we get caught up in that environment and we can't get out of it. So then just hating and having the anger and with the struggle, maybe we end our journey. And some people on the way understand and find the way to escape from it and find the exit and get out of it and find their purpose and then find the way of life and become more better people. And so some people even doesn't know there is something like that. And they, from birth to their whole journey, they just live under someone else's command and under someone else's guidelines. And it can be the schooling system, it can be our culture, it can be our tradition, it can be our parents, it can be our grandparents to our relatives, it can be our religion even. It can be the temple, the church, or the priest, or the monk, or the guru. And sometimes we just live according to that. That's it, we know. But here, when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, you have to be very clear. You have to find your independent path. So sometimes people can question, is there any independent path for us? Of course, that independent path means you find your inner freedom rather than becoming a debtor to somebody else or something else. So then how we can get into that? So in the very beginning, you have to understand the very value of this life, this human life, that it is very rare. And you're not going to experience this all the time. And this human life is belong to the time and the environment. So that is the next thing that you have to understand. So we have very limited time. Whatever the opportunities you get in your life on the way in this journey, you may not going to get it for the second time. So then, in the most of time, another mistake we does. So this is a very argumental idea, but you have to understand it very carefully. This is not for everybody. And sometimes we think in our life, we're spending and we invest our whole life to be good. Being good is kind of like not a new thing for the world. The human life in this earth, million years old. So from the beginning to today, from these human civilizations, and people invest their life and sacrifice their life to be good, to maintain a life. But you have to remember, the being good will help you to maintain your life. But sometimes you may understand, even in a very conventional life, just being good not enough for you to become successful or to get the job done, so to get the things done. So that is something, and we know when it comes to the world, most of the people we know, the very famous people, they have the very good intentions and they being good. But what is the difference with the Buddha? Because before the Buddha, that the people used to practice many rituals and many discipline records, and for the good, they went to the highest level of that, all the ethics and the discipline records and maintain a life. But still they didn't find the way to end this all. So then what is the difference with the Buddha's teaching and all other spiritual teachings? So this is the thing, you have to understand it very carefully, because if you misunderstand with this your logical mind, that with your ideas that you carry within yourself, this doesn't work. So in this sentence, we come to open our mind and listen to something. And it is nothing wrong that you challenge your ideas, but still you have to first remember to understand it very first level. So what the Buddha said, especially that when he introduced the Vipassana level of method to the world, what is the very different with that? This is the thing, being good will help you to maintain things, but to get out of that, you have to have a wisdom. So the being good and the being wise is two different things. The thing is, most of time in day-to-day life, as ordinary people, and as a student, as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a parents, as good citizens, as good followers, as good practitioners, as the good people around the society. And so we ourselves, we try to invest our life to be good, but we neglect ourselves to be wise. So that's why the most of time in another thing is, we think this is a very wrong idea when it comes to life. We think, oh, when we become good, life should be right. No, it doesn't happen like that way. There are a lot of good people go through kind of like the most difficult times. So then you have to understand, being good is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that doesn't mean life going to be good for you. You can be good, but that doesn't mean, don't bring it to the table and don't develop any expectations within yourself, or other people should be good for you. That is the very misunderstanding with the good. So a lot of people try to become good, believing that everything going to become good for you. No, it's not going to happen that way. So, but the thing is, when you become wise, so whatever the difficulties come to you, your wisdom can help for you to get out of that difficulty, not your goodness. So that is two different things. Your goodness not going to help for you in this journey of the samsara, your goodness not going to help you, not going to help you to get out of the situation. Your wisdom going to help you to get out of the situation. In any situation, even in even in a very conventional life, just ordinary life, the same. So then it's nothing wrong. You become good. It is okay. You have to be good. But at the same time, remember the one part we totally neglected. So what is that? Becoming wise. So how we can become wise? So that's why there are three methods that you have to follow. One is Shrutame Jnana, Chintame Jnana, the second one Chintame Jnana, and the third one the Bhavaname Jnana. So when it comes to wisdom, there are two different wisdom, tranquility wisdom and eternal wisdom. So when it comes to that, both to develop this, in the very first level, you have to develop Shrutame Jnana. Shrutame Jnana means opening your mind to outside and start to listen. So as example, just imagine, in this very moment, you're listening to this, and maybe the very first time you listen and you heard, oh, being good not enough for me, I have to be wise also. So that's, see, your listening ability bring that information to you. So like that, reading books, and more than any other time in the world, we have so much facilities and opportunities to access to knowledge and the wisdom. So then you have to use it. So that is the very first step, that opening your mind, opening your heart, opening your life to new knowledge, new wisdom. Chintame Jnana. And giving a space inside you. It's not easy. We don't do that. You think, oh, listening, I do that. No, you don't do that. Most of us, we don't do. We just listen, but we don't give a space inside us. We just keep whatever we know, according to our personal experience, according to self-centered mind, we going to keep that. But maybe we keep listening to other things, but we're not going to give up that what we hold inside us. So the Shrutame Jnana is not like that. Shrutame Jnana means you become empty inside and you start to listen. So for that, you have to have the trust. That's where the faith become important. Faith, conviction, trust become the foundation for the wisdom. So sometimes you may think, oh, I don't believe anything. Oh, I don't trust anything. So that's mean you block that path itself, yourself. It's kind of like a roadblock that you put it inside, the kind of like a barrier. You yourself put it. So then trusting, having the conviction towards higher things, nothing wrong with anything, rather than holding to your own egocentric mind or the ideas. But sometimes we cheat, we show like, oh, I have the faith, but we don't. And even for and you don't need to have it for only the wisdom or kind of, even for the, if you go to the church, if you have the faith regarding the God, or even if you have the higher, source or whatever, if you have the right faith, you know what will happen? Even you go on the wrong path, it's going to take you to the right place. That is the power of the faith. But most of time ourselves, we don't have that. We cheat ourselves. We think, oh, I believe, I trust. No, we trust ourselves. To protect our trust, we bring something to us. That is what we do. Even with the meditation, sometimes that's why people say, oh, I have my own meditation. We can't have our own meditation. Then you're going to be the same. Then the change doesn't happen. If you have your own meditation, you're going to be the you. That's it. But our purpose is not to become us like this, to bring the change from inside. Not to become somebody or not to become this person. We have to come to a point to be a nobody. Not to build up the identity, not to build up the self-centered mind. We have to get out of this name and form or the self-centered mind or the identity that we carry within us. It's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. It is a process. But you have to come to the point to understand very clearly where we're heading. Because once you have it, if it is comfortable for you, you will keep work with that. So otherwise, maybe this doesn't work for you. Because sometimes people like hold it to their own identity, their own experience, their own lifestyle. So then they have to go with that. Sometimes people like to hold it to the ego. Sometimes people like to hold it to their own way of life until they come to the deeper suffering. That's why the suffering is very important. What the Buddha taught, the major thing in the world is suffering. And everything, if you look around you, they create something to cover up the suffering. Why? Because the suffering is the death for the ego. That's the thing. When you come to suffering, you can't hold it to your egocentric mind. When you come to the real suffering, very raw level of suffering in life, you will get out of your self-centered, egocentric mind. And then you will say, please help me. That's why when you pray, please help me, help me, help me. Why? Because you can't do anything. You can't do anything. That's why you become so humble. Please, please, take me out of this. Why? Because now you can't do this. Otherwise, when everything goes good, right? You say, oh, it is me. Oh, this is my life. So look how I do. So that's why suffering is the blessing. Suffering is the light. And most of the good people in the world suffered a lot. That is the secret. And that went through difficult time, hard time. And so when it comes to your pain, your suffering, remember, that is the place that you get out of this self-centered, egocentric mind. And so that is where the faith, conviction start to grow. So that is where your spiritual foundation start to grow. So then once you understand it, you anymore not going to hold it to this. The ideas that you have within yourself. So that's why the Shrutamaya Jnana is a kind of like giving you space to be open. And Chintamaya Jnana, not only that, whatever you hear, whatever you listen, the power, the ability, when you open to Shrutamaya Jnana, the ability to listen, what will happen? It's open the whole nerve system, your brain, your entire body. When it comes to human mind, human life, the path of this wisdom, to develop that, one of the skill that you need, not the reading, not watching, but listening. That is something, Then when you listen, your entire, the brain, the way it behave, your entire body behave, it's totally different. So, but today, what happened because of this machines, technology, this gadgematic environment, and we are so detached from that deeper, natural way of becoming wise. So otherwise, as human beings, just imagine, we don't have this internet, we don't have these cell phones, computers, TVs, nothing. Just imagine, group of people just in the middle of the jungle, they live. They are capable to communicate and more deeply understand each other and recognize the feelings. And without so much words, they are so capable to recognize that's what's going on. So that's the power of mind. Even just by seeing, nowadays, just watching, just looking at the app, nowadays people they don't look the sky, they don't look the cloud, they don't know how to, just seeing the cloud to see how it's going to rain or not, listening to birds or the listening to some animals. They don't know how to understand it's going to be hot or cold or kind of like that. They just go to the app and that is where they see the weather. They believe the weather report. When they watch the TV, they don't have ability to see and observe very naked the sky, the nature. And because of that, what happened? They lose the ability of understanding. But when it comes to the human mind, this natural raw level of interference and opening, harness with the environment or harness with the people, give you the wisdom. So remember that even though we're listening this Dhamma talk through this, all the machines, technology, we have to respect it, we have to appreciate that. But end of the day, you become more wiser when you are capable to interfere with people. You are more capable to interfere with the nature and understand things. But little by little, we lose that. Now we have no ability to, be with people. We can't sometimes. We don't know how to be with people, physically. Why? Because now more than the people, we like the pictures of the people. That's what happened nowadays, and we like Facebook pictures, not the real person. That is where we heading, The real people we don't care. We so attached to pictures. The same thing. So then what happened? Little by little we lose the ability of our awareness, consciousness, recognition. So that's why this meditation will bring that back to your mind, your life, refresh it and rebuild it. You need that. Recover it because it's inside you. There's somebody inside you never saw that. As example, just imagine the physical body that you have. That today, if you become naked and go to in front of the mirror and look at the, just your naked body and see how you feel. But if you go through a different meal plan, if you go to a right coach and start to exercise, within 6 months, they bring completely different level of appearance from your physical body. So it is not something they put inside to you. And when you lose your fat, and there is somebody else going to be in this body. So that is it is there eating in this physical body, but you don't see them because a lot of fat. So if you lose that all the fat, and once you start to recognize the divine of all the muscles, and release from the fat, and you have the muscles, and you get a different shape. So it is there in you, but you don't see that. So the same thing with the wisdom. And when we have wrong information, we become a different person. We don't see that the clear, conscious awareness base mind within us. It is inside because of unnecessary lot of information. That means it's kind of like the fat. You don't have you don't see the right muscles in you. So same like you don't see the real human power or the wisdom in you because of wrong informations you gathered. It is like unnecessary fat. So meditation is kind of like you work out, you do all the exercise and try to take out this unnecessary fat related to greed, hatred, and the delusion. So base is the Srutame Jnana. So opening, don't afraid. So that's why you have to hold it to the truth. You believe for the truth. You look for the truth. What is truth? What is profitable? You don't follow this person or that person, this monk or that guru. No, you don't follow that. But you don't personalize. You look for the truth. So then you will find it. You open your heart not for the Dharma, or not for the temple, or not for the church, or not for the God, or not for the Tripitaka, or not for the Bible or the Quran. No, you don't open for that. You open your heart for the truth and hold it to the truth. Look for the truth. Ask for the truth. It will come to you. And when you have that, what will happen? The Chintama Jnana, the very next ability that you develop, the refining thoughts, cleaning thoughts, and whatever things that come to us. And then your mind tuned to the different level of vibration, not the way now you think, or not the way now you understand. So it's called the direct perception. So without thoughts, without too much thoughts, your recognition going to happen. When you contact with the perception with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, without too much time, without too much thoughts, your recognition going to happen. It happens like animals. Look, the animals, their life depend on the speed. They're going to survive according to the timing. So they have power. Kind of like with the very first contact to recognize. They don't think too much. That's how they survive. So somehow, another thing another way it called unnecessary fear survive you. So in a very conventional life, sometimes we neglect that. But here with the Chintama Jnana, just I gave a little example. It's not going to be the same like this. But what I'm telling, by contact itself, you're going to recognize without too much thinking. What happens when we have too much thinking, whatever the things going to become different inside us. So the Chintamaya Jnana means when you open your mind to listen, and when you have the openness inside you, when you give the space, when you're willing to accept, and it develop the power of recognition. So that's what happens. So without that Suttamaya Jnana, you can't go into the next level. No, it can't happen like that way. It's like without fruits, without flower, you can't get the fruits. So the first you have to have the flowers bring the transformation to the fruits. So like that, first you have to have that openness, then you can go to the next level. But what the mistake we does, we don't open our mind or the heart or anything, but we try to think. You can't. You're not going to understand something new. You're not going to recognize something new. What we see is whatever inside you as cankers, mental formations, history, you will see it again and again. That's why we say, we repeat the history. So that's, but you are capable to bring the newness to your life, to become very completely new person. So experience that. You want to be the same, or you want to be different? Just even imagine physically, you are capable to be completely different person. The way you are wearing, you are capable to be a different person. But we're not allowed to do that way. So as monk, we do the same, but we don't have any attachment to this. We have a different purpose. That's why we were just so. Otherwise, we are capable. This piece of cloth, nothing to do with anything. But we have a purpose. We use this all to get into that purpose. But most of the time, in the very conventional life, it's not like that. You wear to reflect, show off your egocentric, self-centered mind, or the idea or your identity. We don't wear the robe to show our identity. We don't wear the robe to show it to anybody. No, we wear it to define, become very clear within us, inside us. So that is the difference with the robe and the ordinary garments. So when it comes to Chintamaya Jnana, that direct perception, it takes you to understand deeply with the very clear and recognition. So once you have it, and the Bhavanamaya Jnana, a deeper level, you can reflect on that own experience now, because now you see things very clearly. So you reflect on it very easily. And you're not going to misunderstand, misguide yourself. And that is where you can see how things come to be as they are. So that's a process. But remember yourself, in that process when we go, your life is the most important thing. The time that you have is the most important thing. So then you have responsibility to not to waste it, and look into yourself and see where are you heading, what you gain out of this life. Is this worth for you? So question yourself. And maybe we have seen in our past, we went through many things and we spend so much time for unnecessary. It is okay. You don't need to worry about that, because now you understand it. So then just use this moment of wisdom for the future. So that is the very first thing. And once you understand that, you don't miss any opportunities in your life, because you know it may not going to happen to you again. So then whatever opportunities come for you to go towards the truth, you take as soon as possible. Another thing is, Once you come to that level, you anymore don't afraid to suffer. You recognize the suffering is the nature. You don't go against it. You don't resist the suffering, because there's no resistance. There's no escape from suffering. Why? You escape from suffering when you have egocentric, self-centered mind, because you know now the suffering is the killing solution. Suffering is the purifying yourself to get out of the egocentric mind. Suffering is the death for self-centered, egocentric mind. And then you become more humble, surrender, vulnerable, respect. So appreciate. And then you will see, when you have that quality regarding suffering, you don't hate, you don't look for escape, you don't resist, you don't fight. And then in that very next moment, your life transforms from this very conventional life to eternal level. So that is the ultimate goal in this journey, your transformation, your liberation. And another way we can call it ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left hand, neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Swapateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation, recognize it. And do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.